Good afternoon. My name is Mark Bowler, and I believe that I'm an Indian because one day I was looking in a book and I seen this handsome Indian guy that I knew must be my father. Now I come to Waswagoning a few weeks ago and decided that I wanted to be a tour guide. So I talked to the owner, and he realized immediately that I was someone very, very important. So he gave me this tour. You are my very first tour. So in the summer lodge where we're now standing, you will see two lodges. One of these lodges is obviously for men, and the other one is for women.
I'm not going to stir for too much longer though. I think it's finished. Yeah.
Ooh.
Too burned?
Yes.
Is it?
Yep. Oh my God.
Way too burned?
Okay.
Too burned?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's any rice in there. Maybe some rice in there somewhere.
That was funny.
Oh, see, look at I
Gotta
don't know
find
if
it.
you want to take a look at the husks. Here, I'll tell you, hold this. Let me show you what they should look like.
You're supposed to be sharing that then.
This is what it's supposed to look like when it's done.
Wow. It's burned. Sorry.
That's why you're a buffalo hunter. What that rice is going to do then is you're going to be rolling off the husks on there. What's left of the husks.
That isn't already burned off. Okay.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
So face which way?
Then right straight ahead.
Okay.
There you go. Is it nice and soft down there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Let's see you turn it.
So do I do it fast or just like this?
Yeah, there you, that's
Where's that song?
good. Well, I don't have my drum here, but we'd sing a song. That's pretty good. Oh, that's nice. Dancing on the rice, what this is. The lodges are covered with birch bark, and the skirting that allows ventilation that runs around the bottom come from the cedar tree. We take the cedar branches early in the spring and we run them through a press that squeezes them flat, and then they're rounded in the same machine, long straight lines, which we then tie over the hair of the beaver. We trap the beaver early in the spring after the ice melts, and we shave off its hair and braid these fine pieces of hair together to make the rope. Now the needle that we use is typically taken from the white wolf, Maingan we call, and we use his toenails. The toenails oftentimes grow quite large over the winter. And so killing of the white wolf, taking his toenails, we make long, slender needles out of them, which we sew these reeds together, making our skirting. A hide would be put inside of here. And then that roasted wild rice, those small kernels, would be poured into. And then it was typically a young boy or a young girl, very small, maybe 9, 10, 11 years old, would then get into the butagan with their moccasins on and begin dancing on the wild rice, holding on to the poles. So this young boy or this young girl, as he danced on the wild rice. Take two. So in ricing then with this long pole, of course with the fork on the end, that allowed this pole then to push very effectively because it didn't get stuck in the soft bottom of the river or the soft bottom of the lake where the rice was growing. And so as you moved along with this canoe,
Take 3.
and so as you moved along with this canoe,
Take 4.
go on.
Take 5.
And so as you moved along with this canoe, okay, Shay.
Yes, nicknamed his dog Naboob. Naboob is our word for soup. He says if that dog didn't behave, he'd become soup. And actually, he was very filling. Mama P, Gagawabman.
Now, if you look down on the ground there to the left, you'll see a basket. Most people think that they're birch bark, but actually, they are made out of crushed rock. Yes. Seems unbelievable. But the Ojibwa long ago had a way of crushing rock and then taking this fine powder, mixing this powder together with the substance that we call weegoob. And weegoob, we know, is the juice from the tail of the rabbit. We take the rabbit and we squeeze all the juice out and make this fine, fine juice that we mix in with the crushed rock and forming it to look quite similar to birch bark. These baskets are very, very strong. You can put them over the fire and obviously they will not burn because they're made out of crushed rock.
At this Baha'i gathering, the spiritual values of peace and love for thy brother are explored.
Help me, Mark. She's beating me up.
She's beating you up? Oh, this is a serious fight. Okay. Now keep it clean. Gage, you referee this. Oh.
How do I get these out?
Now you will see up to your left on the tree hanging a bow and an arrow. Now these bows and arrows oftentimes were confiscated from Makwa the bear. Yes, the bear. The bear, while he was denned in the wintertime, often made bows and arrows to hunt when he came out of the den early in the spring, right after the snow melted. And so about February, we would sneak into the bear's den and steal these bows and arrows. Now, this pit that you see to your right, this hole in the ground with moss that's used for insulation on the bottom, one would think it would be a wonderful place to keep stored goods. However, that's not the case. Inside that pit, we often put people not too unlike yourself who get unruly on the tours. Drop them in there, drop the lid, and come back after an hour and a half when the tour is over and take them out. Usually quite terrified. However, take them these people into the gift shop and ply them with fire water. That's right, fire water. Ishkude nibi, fire water. And their fear generally subsides in a matter of minutes.
25 years ago.
That's your wedding dress?
That's my wedding dress. My ribbon dress. Still fit it.
The torrential rains and record flooding had left the entire camp completely flooded, and work had come to a standstill. Hawkins was now worried the entire project would have to be abandoned.
Now, this game that I am about to introduce to you is called lacrosse. Now, lacrosse was usually played with this racket here, and the ball that we use were actually the balls from a muskrat. A muskrat balls soaked in water for about a week. They have a tendency to expand because, as we know, muskrats are quite small, so obviously their balls would be rather small. But soaking in water in the basket I've just described causes these balls to expand, and we use them, passing them from one player to the next. Now, the object of the game is to take the muskrat balls and throw it as hard as possible, aiming at your opponent's forehead. When a muskrat ball hits you high in the forehead, traveling about 85 to 90 miles an hour, this sudden stopping of this ball as it plows into your forehead causes this player immediately to fall to the ground. The only words in this song are Giwabima Magazi. Giwabima Magazi. I see the eagle.
Das sind die einzigen Worte dieses Songs, welchen er jetzt singen wird. Ich sehe den Adler. Und es geht, wie gesagt, um diese Idee, dass der Adler die Medizin aufgenommen hat und weitergibt. Ne, die Geschichte von ihm.
Everything in creation sings. Everything. And singing is a prayer. The old songs, I would imagine, from Germany, those old songs were always had to do with the environment, with the weather, with something important. And those songs, when they were sung, kept the world in balance. Because singing was very important. In this country, when people immigrated here, they immigrated because, for a lot of reasons, they came to this country and they forgot their songs. They stopped singing those songs, stopped offering those prayers. And as a consequence, things got out of balance.
Also es geht um die Balance, die durch das Singen geschieht und entsteht.
Thank you. Magazi. So,
can we sing you a song?
I would be honored to have you sing the song.
Es wäre ihm eine Ehre, wenn wir ihm ein Lied singen.
I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Now, this teepee structure in the back, some people, I think, by way of common sense and reasoning, would think it would be a smokehouse. However, it's not a smokehouse. What it is a place for midgets to go in. And they lay on these ledges. They build a small fire on the bottom, lay on the ledges. As you see, there's a number of ledges in there where some people think fish are put, but obviously it's where the midgets actually lounge around and take what we call a Madodo swan, a sweat lodge. And so it is a very, very sacred spot. So now, having described what takes place in the summertime, we will now proceed down to the canoe arbor. So I thank you very much. Miigwech.